Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rekakadash. Now, I'm going to start my precepts off with this Zephaniah chapter 1 and 14 about the day of the Lord. It says, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteneth or hurrying greatly. Let me say that again. This is Zephaniah 1:14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteneth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty men shall cry there bitterly. So it's saying that the day of the Lord is near and it is hurrying greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord. So what is this voice of the day of the Lord? Now, when you look at the precepts, you start to get an understanding of what the voice is all about. And when you go into the Hebrew, they say a sound, they say a proclamation. And I like that proclamation to proclaim what is being proclaimed. You see, what is the sound that's being proclaimed? And what pops in my head is, he said, it's a dreadful sound that's going in the ears of the wicked, and in his prosperity. You see, so in the wicked in their prosperity, they are hearing this dreadful sound. What is this dreadful sound? It's even the voice of the day of the Lord. So what is the voice of the day of the Lord? Let's hit Luke, because Yahweh talked about this in Luke chapter 21. Luke chapter 21, talking about pretty much the end of things. And he told the Israelites, you're going to die by the sword here in Jerusalem. They're going to lead you away captives or slaves into all nations. And that you're going to be in captivity pretty much until the end comes. But he started, when he talked about, or how he presented how the end would come, he touched on the voice of the day of the Lord. Because in Luke 21:25, he said, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity. And they say the sea and the waves roaring. You see, that's sound. Roaring. It shall be signs in the sun, moon, and stars, and upon the earth distress of nations. The nations are going to start hearing this voice of the day of the Lord. In 26, he say, men's hearts failing them for fear. You see, men's hearts failing them for fear, because they're hearing that dreadful sound. They're hearing the voice of the day of the Lord. Let me finish the verse. It say, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. You see, they looking for the day of the Lord. It say, for powers of heaven shall be shaken. So, and it's talking about not the powers of the heavens, the kingdom, the rulership here. They gonna be shook up, and they're being shooken up. That's why you see them with these doomsday bunkers. And that is the reason you know they shooken up, because they preparing. See, when you hear an alarm go off, or you hear of a hurricane coming, you see, or a volcano erupting, you start preparing for your escape, because you heard the voice of that tragedy that's coming. Now, let's see Revelation 6. Let's get that. Revelation 6, because he said the heavens is going to be shaken. This is how the heavens is being shaken. Now, look at what he said in 13, and it goes right along with what he was saying in Luke 21. He said, this is Revelation 6:13. He said, and the stars. Let me start at 12, because he gives you the whole operation right here from 12 on down. He said, I beheld when he had opened up the sixth seal. Who opened up the sixth seal? Jehovah. And lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun, remember he said the sun, became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became blood. And the stars of heaven fell on the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. That's, you see, he said the sun, moon, and stars, and the earth, and the heavens was shaken. Let's go back to Luke, man. That thing is too powerful. Let's get that Luke one more time. Luke 21, 25, and 26. He said, and there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. That's goes back to 2nd Ezra chapter 9, where he say, measuring the time that is going to be uproars of the people. That's the sea of the waves roaring, uproars of the people. But going on in 26, he say, men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Now look at that. He say, I'm going to just start at 13. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So, now this is talking about the nuclear missiles coming. That's why these people are preparing, because the day of the Lord in Zephaniah, when it's talking about the voice of the Lord, this is what they're being proclaimed. The proclamation of the day of the Lord is that nuclear missiles is coming to destroy the wicked. You see, it's going to be a nuclear war, World War III. Now, when he said that these nations was going to be distressed, they going to start preparing, because they already know They hearing the voice of the Lord, and they starting to prepare. And this proves it here in Revelation 6:15. He said, the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the dens, Salakia, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. 16, and said unto the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. Now when you look at Luke 21, that was the conclusion. Not only was they preparing for the thing that was coming, the destruction, they hearing that voice telling them, and another voice is the prophets too. I'm going to get that. They're hearing the voice telling them that it's a nuclear war coming. But then the main thing in Luke 21:27, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with great power and great glory. You see? And so that's why you see these dragons preparing with these doomsday bunkers. Because they not only is they hiding from the nuclear missiles that's coming, and that they hearing with the voice of the day of the Lord. Let's get that voice real quick. And I'm thinking it's in the beginning of Luke. This is one precept to go with that voice. Luke chapter 1, verse 70. It said, as he spake by the mouth of his prophets, which have been since the world began. You see, you're going to hear the voice of the Lord and the voice of the day of the Lord through his prophets. You see, his prophets are prophesying, telling these people that the day of the Lord is near and it is hurrying. And so their hearts their minds are failing them for fear. Fear is coming into their mind. That's why in Revelation 11:11 it say, when the Spirit came into the prophets, the people start to fear. Great fear fell upon them. Now let's get how bad this fear is gonna be. Because see, you see this man, this dragon, he's saying, get out now. He telling the fear done got so bad that they starting to see what's gonna happen on that day of the Lord. They starting to see it. Now, they ain't just hearing what the prophet's saying. The prophet is giving them a vision also. Because they used to call prophets seers. And the prophet Samuel, you see, they called them seers. So they are giving you a vision. The voice of the Lord is giving you a vision. And the vision is the day of the Lord is coming and what is going to happen on that day. Now Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 6, he say, ask you now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. And look at what it say in verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even, meaning the same, the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So you see, these dragons and these other heathen are hearing the voice of the Lord, seeing a vision that the prophets are giving of every detail that's going to happen on the day of the Lord. And that's that voice of the day of the Lord. The voice of the day of the Lord is being proclaimed. That's why I say proclamation. The word the voice, the proclamation is being proclaimed by the prophets. And these people, their hearts are failing them for fear. It's gonna get so bad. Every man gonna have his hands on his loins like he pregnant, like a pregnant woman in travail when she about to have a baby. That's how bad it's gonna be. Let's get that's how bad it's gonna be. They're gonna be holding they growing. Let me get Amos real quick. Where we at? Okay, let me get Amos. Amos to the 5th chapter. It tells you how bad this day is. Amos 5:18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. 19. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. 20. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? So these men are hearing these things, and these billionaires is building bunkers and all types of things, trying to dodge the situation. Now you see, they say the billionaire bunkers to survive the end of the world, luxurious safe houses for waiting out the apocalypse. And what they waiting out is what's in Revelations, or what's being, because that's what apocalypse means. The revelation, what's being revealed in these last days is that nuclear war is coming. So in Psalms 102:15 it says, so the heathen shall fear the name of the Lord, and all the kings of the earth thy glory. And that name of the Lord ain't just talking about just saying, hearing the name or seeing the name. It's his whole reputation. You see what his judgments and everything. When they start hearing of these things, that's what he's saying. 18. This same Psalms 102:18. This shall be written for the generation to come, and the people which shall be created shall praise the Lord. So it was written now, so the prophets can get it and proclaim it. That's the voice of the day of the Lord. And so the prophets have proclaimed it, and they still proclaiming it, that nuclear war is coming to the world, and these Edomites and these other nations are going to have to pay and be judged by the Lord, and the wicked 2/3 Israelites is going to get judged too by the Lord. And so I'm going to leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.